Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Sandru Ferdinando. Before we get into our stories in detail, let's take a quick look at your headlines.
The Monetary Board notes with sharp concern the disparity in the performance of primary dealers. President Maithripala Sirisena departs to attend the BRICS BIMSTEC Summit as a special guest. IGP comments on the suicide of a former Army intelligence officer. Another malfunction at the Norochole power plant.
The Monetary Board has revealed that they note with sharp concern the disparity in the performance of primary dealers.
A special meeting of the Monetary Board was held yesterday, during which the interim report on the operations of primary dealers, including their financial performance during the year that ended on the 31st of March 2016, as well as the 5-month period that ended on the 31st of August 2016, was taken up for consideration. It noted with concern the sharp disparity in the performance of primary dealers, as well as certain issues related to the pattern of trading activities. In this connection, the Monetary Board has instructed expeditious completion of the ongoing process of preparation of the relevant on-site examination reports, which would enable them to make an early determination on the future course of action.
Former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. W.A. Vijayawardena, commented on the statement issued by the Monetary Board.
What it actually means is that the Monetary Board has noted that one primary dealer has run away with all the profits and all the trading activities of the primary dealer market, and the board has therefore been concerned about this particular matter. And this is a new development because for all the time the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka had been blind, deaf and dumb with regard to the accusations made by the good governance activists and private analysts about the improprieties that are taking place in the government securities market. Therefore, the new development is encouraging, and what we note is that under the management of the new governor, Dr. Sri Kumaraswamy, the Monetary Board has got new vigor, new strength and new freedom. So we have to, this is an encouraging development and it has to be supported by all the people in the country.
Buddhists today mark Wap Full Moon Poya Day. Wap Poya marks the offering of the Katina Chivara or new robes to Buddhist monks who observed Vas rain retreat beginning from Asala to Wap.
A special Bodhi Puja ceremony was held at the Buddha statue located in the Sri Shakyamalakaya opposite the capital Maharaja organization in line with the Vap Full Moon Poya Day. Vap Full Moon Poya Day is a day of paramount importance to the Buddhists worldwide and particularly in Sri Lanka due to a number of special events taking place on this day, some of which take place annually. It was on Vap Full Moon Poya Day that the Buddha visited the heavenly abode of Tautissa, and on such a day that the future Buddha, Maitri Bodhisattva, entered the order with a retinue of 500 followers. Furthermore, Vap Poya paved the way to the arrival of Sanghamitta theory. The advent of Buddhism took place with the advent of Dharmaraja Sasavaka Arhat Mahinda Thera.
President Maithripala Sirisena departed for India today to attend the BRICS BIMSTEC Summit as a special guest.
Neighbouring India will be hosting the 8th BRICS Outreach Summit this year. President Sirisena will be attending the summit based on an official invitation extended by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Rising economic powerhouses India, China, Russia, Brazil and South Africa will be attending the BRICS Summit. The BIMSTEC Summit will also be held in line with the summit and will be attended by the state leaders of Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Maldives. Parallel to the summit, President Sirisena is also set to hold bilateral discussions with the Indian Prime Minister tomorrow. Issuing a statement, the President's media unit has said that the President will also be holding discussions with the Presidents of Nepal and Bhutan.
ලෝකයේ සමස්ත ජනගහනයෙන් හරි අඩක් පමණ නියෝජනය කරන
5 major developing countries who are responsible for around 22% of the world's production output will be attending the BRICS Outreach Summit, representing around half the world's population. A special invitation has been extended by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, especially to the heads of states around the Bay of Bengal, requesting them to attend the summit. President Sirisena will be reaching Goa tomorrow to attend the summit as a special guest.
ඉන්දියාවේ ගෝවා නගරයේ සිට.
Meanwhile, the opening ceremony of the 24th Commonwealth Doctors Society Conference was held yesterday under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. The conference is held every 3 years. The theme of this year's conference is Health and Longevity and is being hosted by Sri Lanka. The conference is being held in Sri Lanka after 54 years, following a request made by the President when he was the Minister of Health. The Colombo Statement on Health Policy Decision on the Commonwealth countries in the next 3 years was also approved at the event.
A special meeting was held at the Malyadev Raja Mahaviharya in Kegaul yesterday in preparation for the National Vesak Zone. Here are some of the views expressed during a media briefing organized following the meeting.
Some bankrupt politicians have been stimulated by the statement made by the President. No one says that the judiciary is corrupt. When 3 former commanders and the former defense secretary were summoned before court, the people questioned as to what basis they were summoned on. We need to tell the people of this country that this national government will function continuously for 5 years and that we will not weaken or falter.
කිසිදු බිඳ වැටීමකින් දුර්වල වීමකින් තොරව අපි පවත්වාගෙන
බොරදියේ මාළු බානවා වගේ රිල වගේ නැට්ටේ එල්ලිලා සමහර
Some members of the joint opposition are suddenly making statements these days following the statement made by the President. These people will change their stance to their advantage. They are frightened of what will happen to them. When a dog is thrown a bone, he will gnaw at it, believing there to be meat. It is after some time that the dog realizes that he has been gnawing at a bone.
A rally organized by the joint opposition was held in Bulak Sinhala yesterday.
We said that this pairing will not work. They got married. It has been a year and 9 months. They should have children by now. We said that M and R do not go well together. M and M is a perfect pairing. There is an issue with the horoscope of Ranil Wickremesinghe. He can never serve continuously for 3 years. I have to say that everyone needs to join hands. We will begin our campaign after the 20th. We wanted to do it sooner, but there was no auspicious time. We can't delay any further because we have a lot of steps that need to be taken, including providing a specific name.
Gammadda has already become a national revolution that has been able to create a major change in the way rural development is being perceived. Even though the residents of Ruwanpura Hatton reside in an area which has been blessed with many beautiful waterfalls, they were forced to dig holes in the ground in order to procure water for their daily needs. However, today, through the Gammadda 100-day initiative, we were able to change this situation.
The Gammadda 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
There were many ministers who came to Ruwanpura during the election season. However, they have not done anything for us. We told them that we don't have water and we also asked them to fix our roads. This is a great meritorious deed done by Sirasa. No one looks into our situation. Only the journalists of Sirasa have looked into the plight of these villagers. You will be blessed for providing us with water.
Work on the project to provide water for the Ruwanpura area commenced on the 17th of August. Within a short span of time, the Newsfirst team was able to successfully complete the project and vest it with the people. The water project will serve over 50 families in the area. A tree planting ceremony as well as a ceremony to donate books to the area was held in line with the Gammadda 100 Days initiative.
Tasks that have not been undertaken by our state leaders are being undertaken by a media organization. For 30 years, we drank brackish water. We thank the Sirsa Media Network for providing us with clean water. This is a great service that you have done. We hope the Sirsa Media organization will go from strength to strength with each passing day.
The Gammadda 100-day initiative, which looks into the plight of the innocent citizens of the country and endeavors to solve their problems, continues its efforts for the benefit of the country.
The Gammadda 100-day initiative. With the people, for the people.
Providing some relief to many parts of the country that have been battered by the extreme drought conditions. Rainfall was reported today in several areas. Now, over the past few days, in line with the Gammadda 100 Days initiative, several religious events were held to evoke the blessings of the gods to provide rains. However, Newsfirst came across an area in Mondragal today where 300 families were lining up to obtain water from a single well.
The day-to-day activities of these citizens have been severely affected due to the lack of water for their daily needs. They procure water for consumption with great difficulty after standing in queues for hours. Over 25,000 families have been severely affected in the Monaragala district due to the drought. 85,000 individuals have been facing a tough task of procuring drinking water for their daily needs as the small tanks and rivers in the area have dried up. In line with the Gammadda 100 Days initiative, a special ceremony was also held today in Heaven Pitiya Monaragala to invoke the blessings of the rain gods. Religious ceremonies were also held on the 12th of this month to invoke blessings to rid the area of extreme drought affecting the area.
I'm sure it will rain today. Else it will rain within 3 days. But I'm sure it will rain today.
Miraculously, soon after the ceremony was conducted, rainfall was recorded in the area, providing much needed respite to the village of Kumupava.
The Inspector General of Police answered a question raised by a journalist while attending an event to open the Vaunia Ichakulam police station.
I can't say anything about it.
Journalists questioned the Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara regarding an incident where an army intelligence officer committed suicide by hanging himself after stating that he murdered veteran journalist Lasantha Wickramatunge.
We are carrying out an investigation about this new development as well. Regarding the suicide and regarding the point that he had raised, it is hard to arrive at a conclusion. There are a number of points that needs to be taken into consideration. We have to investigate into why he said something like that. There is a long investigation process. The personal reasons and the official reasons need to be considered. He was a retired officer. Why did he make such a statement as a retired officer? Who are the people involved in this? Who influenced him to make such a statement? There is a special process to obtain statements. He did not just make a statement, yet he committed suicide. What is the reason for that? What is the duty that a retired officer has? Then, was it a personal matter? There are various questions of this nature that needs to be answered. Just because things are said, we cannot arrive at a conclusion. A person who is said to have been a retired army intelligence officer committed suicide in the Kanadupane area in Kegol yesterday. The incident was marred with controversy as the person had written a letter before committing suicide. The deceased, who was a father of 3, had retired from the army in 2007 as a sergeant major.
We must be careful to thoroughly investigate this whole process, whether this is when he committed suicide, and whether the letter was written by him, and whether any facts that lead to the assassination of Lasantha Wickramatunge. We all right-thinking people will condemn the murder of Lasantha Wickramatunge, and we urge that a proper investigation, not a investigation to bring people into the fold without any evidence. But a proper investigation is not a persecution, but a prosecution. So that must be established.
National Occupational Safety and Health Excellence Awards 2016 was held at the Nellum Pokana Theatre last evening. The award ceremony, organized by the Ministry of Labour and Trade Union Relations, was graced by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Minister and the State Minister of the Ministry of Labour were also present at the event.
So I came here, I got late, having two discussions, one with the Minister of Finance and the Development Strategy, another with the team that is helping us from the Harvard University Center of International Development. And he said, their findings are that we are stagnating in exports. We have nothing new to offer. No new area that we have interviewed. Most of our investments have been in infrastructure, that is national development, but now we have turned around and start exporting. So we are relying on a two-pronged strategy of getting direct foreign investment into this country, and the centerpiece of that is going to be in the short term the Hambantara Development Program, where with the harbour and the airport both becoming public-private partnership, initially we hope that there will be investment from China that will come in for export.
Today marks the International Day of Rural Women.
The first International Day of Rural Women was observed on 15th October 2008. It was established by the United Nations to recognize the critical role and contribution of rural women. The UN notes that rural women, the majority of whom depend on natural resources and agriculture for their livelihoods, make up over a quarter of the total world population. In developing countries, rural women represent approximately 43% of the agriculture labor force and produce, process and prepare much of the food available, thereby giving them primary responsibility for food security. While 50% of the rural women of Sri Lanka are engaged in working in their households, recently those who are engaged in their traditional employment have sought foreign employment. During the first 9 months of 2016, a total of 63,231 women have sought foreign employment, and an increase of 7% has been recorded in terms of the female labour representation in the industrial production. There are many days allocated for women, however all women in the world are constantly struggling to win what they deserve.
The 10th Udagammana Model Village was declared open today in Tissamarama under the patronage of Minister Sajith Premadasa. The event was held in line with the International Day of Rural Women. The model village has been named the Vihara Mahadevipura Soba Sit Gama. 25 individuals were presented deeds at the event by Minister of Housing and Construction Sajith Premadasa. In addition, deeds were presented to 349 individuals under the Samata Sevana program to renovate houses. This event becomes the grand event that celebrates the International Day of Rural Women. We have made it a day that strengthens the woman. You are teaching us a valuable lesson through the tasks that you carry out as a front runner in the process of national economy in the country. The woman contributes to the economy by increasing the percentage of savings. The most glamorous pageant to be held in Sri Lanka, Miss Intercontinental 2016, will take place at the Resplendent Stein Studios in Ratmalana tomorrow.
This is the first time that a reputed global pageant is being held in Sri Lanka, and the first time in 20 years that a major pageant is being held in South Asia. As this year marks the 45th anniversary of this Miss Intercontinental pageant, the pageant is themed The Fairy Tale. Over 70 national beauty organizations associated with the pageant worldwide and over 60 countries will be in Sri Lanka for this pageant. The crown-named Oriental Holy Water is worth over $360,000. Contestants took part in rehearsals as they prepare for the grand finale at Stein Studios in Ratmalana tomorrow. Today too, our cameras captured the manner in which choreographers put in their best to ensure that the contestants walk down the ramp with full energy and beauty to clinch the title of Miss Intercontinental 2016. Apache Indian, the popular English Asian reggae star known for cross-cultural musical fusion, will perform at the grand finale, while Grammy-nominated producer Jim Baines will feature as a member of the esteemed panel of Miss Intercontinental 2016. MTV and MBC are the exclusive electronic media partners of the glamorous pageant.
An island-wide road week to resolve issues in the road and highways network commenced today under the patronage of Minister of Highways Education, Minister of Higher Education and Highways, Lakshman Kiriella. The objective of the program is to resolve issues of highways and provincial roads in the country. The commencement of the construction of the Theripaha-Mallagama Road in Hinguwagedara, Miriyabedda, as well as the renovation of the Samagipura Road in Ragala commenced today in line with the program. In addition, the Dagaman Road in Janapadagama Walapane was also declared open today. There are things that we have been unable to do for 60 years. We have made this national government to provide solutions to these issues and create a peaceful country for our children devoid of party differences. Small incidents transformed into a big war. Though late, we have not received the opportunity through the actions and intelligence of the President and the Prime Minister to create a constitution where everyone can live in peace. We will provide a report to the Parliament in the month of November to see what we can agree on and what we cannot agree on. We will make the constitution in Parliament for the whole world to see and not in secrecy. Residents of Vilachia in Anuradhapura charged that elephants have been encroaching on their lands due to damages caused to the elephant fence by illegal sand miners.
A group of racketeers have been engaging in illegal sand mining for quite some time in the Gangorava area in Modara. Area residents charge that these racketeers have damaged the electric fence in the area in order to make way for their tractors. The residents also charge that Civil Defence Force personnel deployed in the area are also involved in the racket. If any of my officers are engaging in illegal rackets or supporting them in any way, inform the police. Just because they are attached to the Civil Defence Force, there won't be any special treatment for them. The law will be implemented. The Yaya Haya area in Mahavilachia has been severely affected by the activities of encroaching elephants due to the failure of an electric fence. Over 10 houses have already been damaged, with the most recent incident being reported last night. Officers attached to the Civil Defence Force have been tasked with checking on the elephant fence and rectifying any issues. They should also provide frequent reports on it. If the Civil Defence Force is involved with racketeers, poachers and others who commit such crimes against nature, the Wildlife Department should take immediate action against them.
Several villagers from Vilachia made these reactions to News First after witnessing this report during a 7 p.m. prime-time news bulletin on Sirasa TV.
This village is threatened by wild elephant incursions. An electric fence has been erected and Civil Defence Force personnel have been deployed to undertake the renovation of the fence. However, these public officials are aiding the sand smugglers in the area by removing the fence when the tractors need to pass on to the other side. We ask the necessary officials, who should we address this issue to when these persons act in such a manner?
We are
thankful to the Sirasa Media Organization. All we ask the relevant officials is to take action against these Civil Defence Force personnel and deploy a new group of personnel and save us from these wild elephant incursions.
A 3-day joint dialogue between youth politicians of Sri Lanka and Finland commenced yesterday. The event was organized by the One Text Initiative of Sri Lanka and Demo, Finland.
The dialogue will focus on strengthening participatory democracy, sharing of experiences and international best practices. The Finland delegation includes 8 MPs representing the 8 political parties in their country.
Prejudices and conflicts can be best fought through interaction, through dialogue and cooperation, working together. And this is what we are here for. Even though Finland is one of the most equal countries in the world, we still have a lot to do. We still have an ongoing discussion about the same topics, about human rights, about equality, and about democracy. And this is very important. This is something that we need to acknowledge, that even though many things are already well, we still need to continue on working on these topics.
It's a new hope for young politicians and parliamentarians like us. And I feel that this may be the last time, this may be the last effort that we have to fix this country. We are democratic. Our people love the democratic values. And at every election, I feel people will make the final and right decision.
And our story that made it to headlines, a power cut was experienced in a number of areas in the north and north-central provinces today due to a malfunction at the Norochole power coal plant.
Following a technical fault in the transmission system from Kotmale to Anuradhapura, all 3 power generating units at the Norochole coal power plant have ceased operation. As a result, a number of areas in the north and north-central provinces experienced power outages. The CEB stated that power was later restored. The power plant, however, continues to malfunction. We have decided to use our hydropower plants. We also have the thermal power plants and the Kerala Pitya plant that can generate 300 megawatts. We have included these to the system. During the drought season of last March and April, the water levels of our reservoirs were lower than 35%. At present, we have around 50%. This will be a challenge to us. However, a situation has not come for us to have power cuts.
නමුත් විදුලි කප්පාදුවක් සිදු කිරීමට තරම් තත්ත්වයක් තාම උද්ගත වෙලා නැහැ.
අද නොරොච්චෝලේ ක්‍රියාව විරහිත වුණා. අද මොකද්ද වුනේ?
There was a malfunction at the Norochole power plant today. What happened today happened because of a technical fault in the line that transmits electricity to Anuradhapura. Norochole has been constructed to automatically stop if there is a technical fault. It is a safety precaution and all 3 machines stopped. We are looking into the cause of this. This happened because of a fault in the transmission line. We believe it's a technical issue. We believe that we will also be able to restore the power plant by tomorrow. Our engineers are working tirelessly. There was a minor power outage in certain areas of the country. There was no power outage here. We were able to restore power within an hour.
බොහොම කෙටි කාලයක් ලංකාවේ සමහර පැතිවලට විදුලිය නැති වුණා. බුදුමාලන් නැති වුණේ නැහැ. ඒක අපි පැයක් යනකොට යථා තත්ත්වයට පත් කරා.
Sri Lanka advanced to the knockout semi-finals of the 2016 Asia Rugby Sevens in Colombo today.
Sri Lanka competing in Pool B took on Chinese Taipei as their first opponents today. The Tuskers, playing on home turf, powered their way to a 26-7 victory. Sri Lanka took on Singapore in their second outing today. The encounter was completely one-sided as the home team dominated with a score of 66-0. Sri Lanka suffered their first loss today at the hands of China, who scored 24 points. Sri Lanka managed to score only 14. Sri Lanka will take on Hong Kong tomorrow in the third knockout semi-final.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sandhu Ferdinando. Do take care and good night.